Oh yo, what is good, my quick crypto family and my coin factory family? Back once more with another daily Kaspa crypto live stream, and we have some very interesting sources to get through in today's stream. We seemingly have more speculation, albeit confirmation, of who Wallet 2 truly is, and how hopefully therefore it will constitute to a listing very soon. They have got posts regarding Kaspa galore. Much more is happening. And then equally some massive fundamental points as well in this space regarding Federal Reserve developments, the ongoing government shutdown, and equally the acceleration of crypto happening right now. So much to get to in today's stream. So as always, family, if you enjoy the content, leave a like, share with your friends, and subscribe for more. We got Kryptoni here. First brother, welcome back, my man. Hope you're doing very, very well. And Andy, a second brother, hope you're doing very, very well today. Welcome back to the stream. Now, that being said, let's get into the content first and foremost. Looking straight right now, and we can see on TradingView, Kaspa is currently up 1.76% on the daily time frame, valued at 7.6 cents. Again, Kaspa is continuing to trade in between this zone here of 8 to 7.4 cents, consolidating as it had done previously back here in July, June, and equally back here in April. So we're seeing history repeating itself. However, there is some form of speculation, DSA confirmation here, that the weekly ascending triangles are nearing its apex. Higher lows confirm. The bulls are in control. Breakout is imminent. We are touching that line right now in accordance to this post here, which again, I think we are seeing similar things in accordance to my chart as well. My chart goes a little bit further back. Also, I'm looking at the daily, so if I do align it with the weekly, you'll probably see a very, very similar alignment here. As I bring on the weekly here, we can see that, yeah, we are seeing it maybe come down a little bit further as we bring it all the way back here. But either way, we are in a gradual, more so ascending wedge, ascending triangle, which therefore hopefully will constitute to a listing, or sorry, constitute to a breakout very soon with Kaspa going above and beyond, break past all-time highs and then some. The price manipulation of Kaspa has been ongoing for some time. We know that. It's not news to us. However, we have seemingly got some form of sources here which suggest that this is actually winter mute at play. Traders SZ here highlighted this is a winter mute pattern here. This is for another asset here. But winter mute pattern here we can see. Typically winter mute, if the chopping back was going down and then it goes up like crazy. So it's highlighting that it's a very similar structure here. So Ski here highlighted, well, if that's the case, then is that not the same for Kaspa here, having a very similar chopping downwards pattern and then seeing a bit of a like rally, and then it should be a breakout coming soon as well. So potentially Wallet 2 is winter mute and will prepare for a Binance lifting after all. Of course, we look at Wallet 2 right now, we can see holding 949, almost 950 million Kaspa, almost an Aquaman now. Absolutely insane how much they're holding. It's ridiculous, and they are again just edging ever closer to being the number one holder for Kaspa. We've been saying it for a while. It's got to be either Binance or a market maker. It could be DWF Labs or equally winter mute. We can see again it's still stacking a lot, holding a lot, and we can see that this will hopefully constitute, if it is winter mute, then again these market makers are the entities who end up to accumulate the tokens and then give it to the exchanges, or pay it for them. So in that regard, therefore, even if it is winter mute or DWF Labs, more likely winter mute because they have ties to Binance, this could still constitute to a Binance listing when the time is right. We know Binance talking to Kaspa. We'll know it hopefully constitutes something very, very soon. Will it be in the next few months? Unfortunately, I haven't got a crystal ball, so I don't know. I'm not a financial advisor, but only time will tell, and I'm optimistic that Kaspa's time is slowly but surely approaching, especially with how Q4 is currently mapping out, how it's currently looking. Bitcoin again did see a massive drop off yesterday, but we've regained most of that momentum already, most of that price. Currently set 123,000, which is nearing the all-time highs made last time in August. Hopefully see it continue in that fashion. The shutdown ongoing has been very, very good. As Professor St. Onge highlights here, in the 8 days since the government shutdown, the S&P 500 is up 1%, 56% annualized. Silver is up 4.9%, gold 5%, Bitcoin up 7.3%. Maybe keep it shut down. All jokes aside, we have been seeing a lot of bullish momentum in the market since the government shutdown has started, again, 8 days ago. Bitcoin's doing great, gold, silver doing great. Everything is doing very well. I mean, altcoins again still laboring behind as always, but it's not its time just yet. Look at Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance is still extremely high right now, hence why they're controlling the market. 59%. Once it goes below 50%, then you start seeing altcoins gain more momentum, although that should be happening soon enough. We'll get to this video later on though. In that being said though, we have got other sources here as well. We've got the fact that for one, there's now speculation, predictions that the government shutdown will extend beyond expectations. Originally, it was meant to be 8 days. Typically, it is about 8 days on average, and it's still ongoing right now, which means that the Republicans are holding strong in their stance on keeping the government shut down, and Democrats alike. And now the predictions has it at almost 24 days, which would be the second largest in history, surpassing what President Clinton did back in 1995. Of course, the largest in history, I think, is 35 days under Donald Trump in 2018. So will it last this long? We'll have to wait and see. But evidently, the market stayed shut down for longer, and the markets seemingly behave a lot better. And I anticipate it's because the Fed have a more dovish stance. So they're looking forward to the shutdown. Ultimately, what happens as a result of this? We've got this post here from Endgame Macro. I think I covered a similar post from Bar Chart as well, which is crypto saw an inflow of nearly 6 billion last week, the largest weekly inflows in history. And that's again beginning of Q4, beginning of October on the government shutdown. Think about how much more time we have left still in this cycle. To kind of get into a little bit of what Endgame Macro is saying here, he's talking about how the driver right now for the capital inflows seems to be just fear. It's FUD, it's fear, because the governments, the banks, they were late in 2017, 2021, where the gains were made from some of us who were in those cycles. We made insane capital, insane money in those last cycles, and we saw they can every single time these smart money, these banks were saying crypto's dead, Bitcoin's dead, it's going to fall off. Jamie Dimon was saying that in 10 years Bitcoin's going to be worth nothing. He said that a few years back, if not even a few months back. And now look at us. Bitcoin's only going up higher and higher and higher, and the more money they print, the more Bitcoin goes up as well. With that being said, therefore, the big driver for this current injection of liquidity is the current money printing. It is the stance of more easing in the monetary policies, and banks just being worried about missing out on the money that's going to be coming through, the money they can make under this new economic restructuring, if you will. You've got the credit market stress as well, also highlighted as a key factor as well. And the long-term outlook being probably the biggest one in my belief. Because after the initial crash, we've seen multiple pullbacks and setbacks for Bitcoin. We saw it at Liberation Day, back here. We've seen it back at the FTX crash back in the last cycle. We've seen multiple setbacks where people called the cycle to be over, the crypto scam is done for, and every single time Bitcoin is battle tested, it's come back stronger every time. Powerful, powerful rebounds. So with this, and also combining the fact that gold has now surpassed $4,000 per ounce, and Bitcoin is the digital gold, evidently the smart money see Bitcoin as much more than just speculative anymore. So the current run we're seeing on Bitcoin is smart money hedging in more and more institutional capital in the belief that this market is going to be one of the biggest, if not the biggest in the world. Everything's going to come on blockchain in the future. This is a fundamental shift in our monetary system happening before our eyes. And again, it's only going to get better with how the stance of the Fed. In accordance to most FOMC members, they have likely said that it's appropriate to ease policies more this year. More. So right now we already have the belief that we'll see 2 more rate cuts. One happening in October, one happening in December. But if the FOMC members are correct in their assumptions, and we're going to see more, we could see 3 if not 4 cuts. The current rate cut still suggests it's only going to be a 92% chance of a 25 basis point rate cut. So it's not 50, it's not as much as it could be. But either way, pretty much guaranteed we're going to be seeing that rate cut in about 21 days time and 3 weeks time from now. Or sorry, in 21 days from now. So again, it's still going to be very, very good. And even then, we know Jerome Powell's going to be speaking tomorrow, despite this ongoing government shutdown. So he may be hinting as well and aligning with these other members, suggesting that, we are probably more aligned to see even more rate cuts coming through, which would be, again, really, really bullish for the markets and for what we see going forward as well. And we'll get to the other posts in a moment, which I think are equally very, very important. Before we do, though, got some Kaspa updates as well, as always. And Again, before I do that though, let's get into some questions first and foremost. Let's go Dimitar, bro. Welcome back, my man. You're doing very, very well. Passion is the key. 100%, my man. I couldn't agree more. When can I quit my job? Great question. Great question. I don't know. I don't know because I don't know how much capital you have in. I don't know how much this cycle's going to rally as well. But I think we'll see a lot of movements, as the title also suggests. You've got real world assets are going to go parabolic this fourth quarter. I did actually publish a video earlier today regarding Szabo, and also did showcase this post I made earlier. Effectively, one of the documents that I showcased to my VIPs, which is market makers determining that this next leg up is going to be led by real world assets, which I'll showcase that in a moment as well. So we're going to see a lot of capital flows coming in. How much, again, we'll have to wait and see, but hopefully soon enough you can retire. Welcome back, Double D, bro. You're doing very, very well. And you too, Greg. Yo, bro. I'm back from the championship, fully reset from touching grass. Let's go. Welcome back, bro. If you enjoyed that. And yes, back to the grind 100%. Welcome back, Riley Way. You're doing very, very well. Winter mute equals mute equals supply suppression. Yeah. Winter crypto mute, winter supply suppression. Yeah. Winter mute again. Again, I mean, we don't know exactly the definitive nature of Wallet 2. It makes sense that it's probably a market maker. It makes sense probably Wallet 2 and Winter mute. I think this does make sense. Ignoring the charts and the graphs or whatever and the apparent history of how Winter mute act. The fact that you saw Binance Futures launch at the peak and Kaspa's been chopping ever since, and Winter mute was aligning at similar times as well, it would make sense that it's either Binance or Winter mute who have been shorting Kaspa, buying the dips, and now they have nearly enough, or they perceive them to have nearly enough, they're ready to start sending it much, much higher. When Wallet 2 flips MEXC, Binance will list. It's not a bad belief. I hope so. Although, who has any guarantee right now? We've been saying multiple things for some time, like, Binance will list Kaspa after 10 BPS, after smart contracts. We're still waiting. So maybe when it becomes Wallet 1, it might do, but who knows? I do think it's going to happen. That's not me saying it's not going to happen, but unfortunately, we have no confirmation right now. It's just a waiting game. But hopefully we won't be waiting too much longer. We'll mute it as if it's winter so you can accumulate. Well, I mean, they're doing us a service, and those who have no belief in the longevity of Kaspa have got out. But those who do believe, we've had a cheaper discount for Kaspa, which is fantastic. So I'm not complaining too much. Good evening, Greta. You're doing very, very well. Where's Mars? Yeah, honestly, I don't know. I started half an hour later just for him as well. I didn't actually, but I did. Mr. Mars will be here hopefully soon enough. If Wallet 2 is going to mute, Binance and they list 100 million worth will be sold out in minutes, surely. It's only 3 to 4 quarters of the supply. Yes, so, I mean, we'd like to believe that, again, if Wallet 2 is to be Binance and Winter mute, as suggested from traders SZ here and Ski, analyzing the chart patterns that what Winter mute tend to normally do, if that is the case, maybe you would see significant capital, maybe 100 million Kaspa coming out, very, very quickly. Binance being the biggest exchange, but we have, of course, no confirmation of that. But I do believe that Binance listing capital would definitely cause a significant rally, some form of supply shock, because the demand would definitely outweigh the supply at that moment in time, and a lot of FOMO would flood in as well. Again, we'll have to wait and see, but I think at this point, while no definitive confirmations here just yet, the speculation that it's either Winter mute or Binance is kind of the leading ones right now, quite comfortably, and this is further evidence to support that theory. Winter mute chart patterns compared to what Kaspa's chart pattern currently looks like, it's very, very similar, and aligning where Binance Futures also launched as well. Does he have Wallet 2 revealed? In a sense, yes. 3-4%. Oh, 75%, you mean? Okay, sorry, I'm old and bad at typing. It's all good, Octo Plus. Again, I appreciate your sentiment and your communication and contribution to the stream is very, very helpful and makes it a lot smoother as well. If Wallet 2 dumps, is it really dumping? Spot price would be increasing most likely as retail buys from the wallet at whatever current spot price. I mean, yeah, honestly. I mean, Wallet 2 is dumping, then no, it just means we can buy it more and more and more. Yeah, just through the higher prices. So who? I mean, again, believe's going to be either Binance or Winter mute right now. The chart pattern suggests it's probably Winter mute. The fact that Binance Futures launched at the peak and capital's come down since also suggests it could be Binance as well. Winter mute and Binance are kind of hand in hand. Because Winter mute is a market maker that closely associated to Binance, so it's likely one of the two. But yes, in continuation right now, we've got some more posts here. One again, just to highlight those who may not be aware, that recent stress test we saw, 158 million Kaspa, absolutely insane. The stress test we saw a lot of issues surrounding other platforms, namely exchanges, layer 2s, whatnot, wallets. The TLDR from the post here made from Seb is that Kaspa didn't break. Kaspa was perfectly fine. The old infrastructure used by Kaspa's ecosystem participants couldn't keep up with the high 158 million transaction volume, so they hit pause. Exchanges, MXC, Bybit, BitGet, KuCoin, even Casplex, their layer 2 had issues. You got Tangent, they all couldn't keep up with Kaspa, so they hit pause because they couldn't handle it. So in that regard, therefore, if they want to utilize Kaspa in the future, they're going to probably have to adopt Kaspa Rails. Otherwise, their infrastructure they have right now is not going to be able to keep up with Kaspa if it reaches mainstream adoption, which it will do. So that, for me, actually is quite an important indication. Because if you've got you've got all these exchanges and layer 2s and whatnot who are not utilizing Kaspa's infrastructure properly and using old infrastructure, if they can't handle this, which is still early day Kaspa, in all honesty, then how are they going to handle mass adoption? This is an indication that the systems that are currently in place are already outdated. So Kaspa's already given them an early sighting into what should happen. So maybe they'll jump on Kaspa in the future. Again, time will tell. They've hit pause for the time being. Hopefully they hit play very soon. We're seeing more developments happening from Kaspa right now. We are seeing Moonbound, a DeFi platform for fair token launches, is now live on Casplex's mainnet, which is very, very good news. They have quite close ties to the likes of Zealous Swap, which apparently Zealous doing very, very well on the layer 2. They've got 3.3 million total value locked TVL, which is, again, a lot more than any other dexes out right now, like Kaspa.com, KSPR, and Kaspa Finance right now. Zealous Swap continues to lead the way on Kaspa layer 2, currently responsible for around 52% of all on-chain trading volume. So Zealous is doing very, very well. I still have not used Zealous yet. I am increasingly considering it. I still use Kaspa.com. I've liked them. Haven't got any issues with them. But Zealous are seemingly right now being the lead index, so I'm increasingly considering them because I think they're doing very, very well right now. And in other big news as well, VVOR 2.0 is here, which of course, we're on YouTube right now. And I still imagine I'll still continue to use YouTube, but we're seeing the next stage for Kaspa and other developments coming. I mean, we've seen Kaspa being spoke to be utilized for a peer-to-peer electronic currency, for real money, for solid money. And you've seen it in regards to file storage as well, and then even messaging with Cassia. Now you're seeing streaming coming out as well. Streaming on Kaspa just got a major update. Go live instantly. No more third-party reliance, no more setup. You can now stream directly from your browser using a camera and mic instantly. Go live with zero hassle. Donation history, you can see, I'm going to check out the video in a moment. You can tip midstream, you're not going to miss any of that sort of stuff as well. Persistent chat, refreshed the page and lost the chat, never again. Chats are now stored locally, so you'll always see past messages even after a reload, and much more coming out as well. So we can see here the video, as I'm going to talk about it right now, but you can see here VVOR again, just something else that's coming out, kind of utilizing Kaspa as well. It's again really, really cool stuff. So I imagine there'll probably be sometime in the future where, I mean, I'm not sure if it violates terms of service. It is going to have to obviously figure out a work around that, but I'll be going live on YouTube, as I always do. I enjoy doing it, and YouTube being the platform for me. But in the future to be, you might see me go live on both, or maybe it'll be instead. Either way, this is, you can see here, you try to go live, you pay 1.2 Kaspa to go live, and then you go live, and then you have the whole thing set up streaming right here. Stream for as long as you want. The chat will be up here as well. So you can see here, chat going to be right there. Right here. You can type in there as well. See all the messages come up here as well. And then you can even go to tip down here. And you could leave a custom amount or how much you want to tip for Kaspa right here. Leave a message as well, that's for that as well. And you see it will come up up here as well. So again, this is, very early doors again. Very early doors, but either way, the basic function of it, I think, is really, really cool. And again, in the belief that Kaspa does go mainstream, you might see this become just a prevalent thing in the future. I think the fact that you're seeing so much building going on in Kaspa right now, I think is really, really cool. Because it showcases that Kaspa is more than just meant to be sound money, which it is, but this is also proof of that. It's more than just sound money. It's literally the currency of life, to put it that way. You can pay Kaspa to end up streaming. It's not just, because when I go streaming on YouTube, I click a button, it is what it is. It's not really cost me to do that. But you can then do that with Kaspa instead. And that means, again, it gives more incentive for the miners as well. I think it's really, really cool idea. and you've got Cassia also emerging more and more. You've got the file storage thing also emerging more. So we're seeing other dApps, other applications, other protocols, not other protocols, other incentives or something. Even like, you know, chess games. Like, there's so much going to come to Kaspa regarding gaming, regarding streaming, regarding messaging, regarding file storage. Again, the limitation is the human mind, in all honesty. If they can think of a way to tokenize it, which pretty much you can tokenize anything, it'll be done on Kaspa. They'll figure out ways, and I think that's really, really cool stuff. Big W to Nick Szabo. Yes, you're completely right. That's actually the next post we got here as well, which is really, really cool. We can see here, Nick Szabo said, I too don't understand why NFT and other non-financial content people don't prefer other cheaper blockchains, but for some reason they're willing to pay a premium, so for the miners it's worth it. And they said no, there's no blockchain as secure as Bitcoin, that's why. Fair point. Right now, fair point. That may not be the case for the distant future though. Bitcoin has got the most security, but at the same time it is very, very expensive. So Nick Szabo here is effectively, you know, again, the guy who is got accolades, his stars and stripes on, who's respected in the community, who created smart contracts. He's suggesting using other cheaper blockchains for adding additional on-chain data, be it NFTs, tokens, non-financial DJing content, and so on and so forth. So using Bitcoin for the big stuff, but the other mitigated small stuff, use other smaller chains, which would further bloat and centralize Bitcoin's nodes if you don't do it otherwise. And of course, then you could just put Kaspa's name forward, being a proof of work blockchain, retaining Nakamoto consensus, providing the same 51% Byzantine fault tolerance security, while 6,000 times faster and decentralized than Bitcoin. So again, maybe this is Nick Szabo giving us more hints that, you know, maybe you should use Kaspa instead, as opposed to for these other smaller elements, as opposed to Bitcoin, because it'll just bloat Bitcoin's network. Use Kaspa instead, and of course, then that would, you know, snowball into Kaspa being utilized for mass adoption either way. But this again is really good stuff. And yeah, Nick Szabo is increasingly bringing more to light regarding just Bitcoin, and I guess the more to light regarding Bitcoin and the unhealthy mentality behind them. What every maxi has their own unhealthy habits. The fact of the matter being that Bitcoin is not sustainable enough for long-term use. The people who are making significant money in Bitcoin right now are the big market makers and the big corporations. Again, I don't use Bitcoin, I don't mine Bitcoin, so I don't know for sure, but I don't imagine retail are making much from it anymore. That's why they're looking at other proof of works like Kaspa, or the other ones that are making money right now. Either way, Bitcoin, again, I think it stays a number. That's why I'm saying I'm not too sure why you would do this stuff on Bitcoin when you're paying a premium for it. Just use something else, use something cheaper. Maybe use Kaspa, you know? What's up, Silver? You're doing very, very well. I heard that Kaspa is going to be delisted from Bybit and Mexi. I haven't heard that. What that might be referencing is the fact that Mexi and Bybit have withheld withdrawals because because of the 158 million transactions that clogged the network, and they end up Bybit, Mexi, and multiple exchanges have suspended withdrawals for the time being of Kaspa. I haven't heard anything about delisting yet. I'm not sure where you heard that. I'll do a quick search and see if anything pops up. But I haven't heard anything about that just yet. Mexi have not made an announcement regarding that from what I can see on my other monitor. No, so from the looks of it, it's just a case of... and again, maybe they haven't announced it yet. I have no idea. But I've seen nothing regarding delisting. I've seen suspending withdrawals because, again, they couldn't handle the speed. They have too old infrastructure to keep up with Kaspa's speed, so they had to suspend it. But I don't think they're delisting. I don't see why they delist either. I don't see why they delist. Mexi got paid. I mean, Mexi got paid for it, right? So they have the incentive. They can do what they want. If they don't care, they'll delist it. Bybit and other exchanges, they had to bet it themselves. So they have more of a reason to keep Kaspa as opposed to just sending it off. Because I can't imagine they would have... I mean, again, they might have shorted Kaspa and made their money from it, but I think for the most part, most of these exchanges, most of these smart money, they know Kaspa's future is path. So they're not going to... they're going to try and stick with it. I mean, think about Uphold, for example. They're the ones who are really close to Kaspa as well because they see the future in it. There are many exchanges like that as well. Welcome back, Kenny Dutch. You're doing very, very well, brother. Cincinnati Crypto just posted a video that is not looking good for Kaspa. Bear flag pattern. and can take long before Kaspa goes above all-time highs. I haven't seen the video. I'll have a look at it after the stream. I'm not entirely sure where the bear flag pattern he is referring to. It might be, maybe he's looking at this. Maybe he's looking at that for some reason. Maybe that's what he's referring to. I haven't looked at it. I can understand the sentiment, and maybe he's right. Again, neither of us are financial advisors, so we're just purely going off our own speculation right now. But where I'm sitting right now, we are currently closer towards a rally in regards to the fact that Bitcoin, again, is seemingly going through the next leg up right now. Again, we'll see if it can actually break through comfortably through the zone right now. It's seeing some resistance right now, but it's still showing more bullish sentiment for my belief. If that's the case, therefore, then if Bitcoin rallies up, then everything will follow in suit. And Kaspa, therefore, it may not be as explosive right now because, again, Bitcoin dominance, but you must see Kaspa, therefore, rally in suit going past these zones right now. For me, I think if Kaspa does go down, which is at all possible, I'll be surprised if it goes below 6.5 cents. Or worst case, 6 cents. Absolute worst case, I'll be surprised if Kaspa goes below 6 cents. And if it goes below that, then I'm like, okay, there's something is a bit worrying. The price is definitely being suppressed. I think for me, my warning signs will properly start flashing at 5 cents. Kaspa, anything below that, which is here, because I would like to believe this has been proven to be the absolute bottom for Kaspa. I think this is also proof that this is the next bottom for Kaspa at 6 cents. So below 6 cents, I'd be very worried. Below 5 cents, I'd be like, okay, this is a problem now. But I don't think Kaspa goes below here, in all honesty, if it does come down. And it depends again on the market trajectory. If Bitcoin ends up going down, then Kaspa will come down with it, and then the bullish flag plays out. If Bitcoin goes up, if Ethereum goes up, then everything will go up with it. As we're seeing right now in the market, everything's bullish because Bitcoin and Ethereum are bullish. Then Kaspa won't come down. Right now, it's just consolidating at this zone as it's done time and time again. I'll watch the video and hear what he was saying, and then make my own analysis of that. But right now, I'm not too sure about a massive pullback. Again, worst case 6.5, but I'm more under the impression right now, if the market does continue in the momentum it's going right now, that we'll see Kaspa follow and go up. He is wrong. Nick Szabo is wrong. Miners aren't making anything from Bitcoin transactions. They are mining for the block reward. And oh yeah, also very true. Yeah, the miners are only making money from Bitcoin block rewards, not from the transactions. But that's the reason why Bitcoin's longevity its future is it's going to be hindered, because once all the blocks are mined, what's the incentive to mine Bitcoin? If the miners are only making money from mining Bitcoin blocks for the reward for Bitcoin, once the blocks are all, mined out, which will still be quite a ways in the future, but when it is all mined out, where's your incentive to mine Bitcoin and uphold the security? There is none. What you want to do is have a platform that also gives you rewards for the transactions. But Bitcoin hasn't got enough scalability for that to happen. That's why Kaspa would succeed, therefore, because it has the scalability, as proven here. Of course, the fees aren't coming through right now, but again, I don't think that'll be a problem later on. But it has it can handle the scalability elements for there to be enough incentive for transactions for the miners to make rewards through that as well. I get what he's saying, but he's kind of fundamentally incorrect. I mean, yeah, I also think I understand where Nick Szabo's coming from here as well. Bitcoin Maxi's fudding Kaspa, YouTubers fudding Kaspa, even Kaspa Maxi fudding Kaspa. You know what that means? To the moon, yeah. When fuzz at all-time highs is the time where you want to lock in and learn a lot more. So speaking of that, while Kaspa again is my biggest conviction by a long, long way, and I think it's going to be the strongest asset in the world, and will make some big gains to cycle still. I have, and I'm showing one of my alpha documentation that I showcased to my VIPs here. I have got a research document here, which I showcased to my VIPs a couple of weeks back, which highlights, as we may or may not already know, the next capital rotation is starting to take shape, and real world assets will lead the next leg of this bull run. That's not me saying this. It's not. Well, I am saying this, but it's not coming from me. It's coming from KeyRock, who is a leading market maker. I'm sorry, Kryptoni. I'm sorry. I am doing it. But yeah, KeyRock is a leading market maker who are highlighting that DeFi and real world assets look set to lead the next leg as stablecoins velocity and tokenization momentum builds in the weeks ahead, leading market risk oversupply and low rates, but layer 2 inflow leaders could turn this into a DeFi breakout if perp volume keeps rising, with real world assets poised to lead the next capital rotation. So what we're seeing right now is a leading market maker, Key Rock, pointing out that DeFi and reward assets are set to lead the next leg as stablecoin velocity and tokenization momentum builds. So we're seeing that happening more and more and more. And this for me is, again, when you're a market maker, this is again why I'm paying attention to that, because they're the market maker and they're the ones who control the space. They control the prices, right? And if they're the ones who are saying that that the reward assets are going to lead the market, it's worth paying attention to. It doesn't mean that other assets won't do well. It just means that reward assets will lead the cycle. So as you look at reward assets, you could take your pick, of course. It's up to you. Again, do your own research, trade at your own discretion. I have my certain picks that I am looking into. That's not the right one, because for some reason CoinMarketCap's very, very weird about this now. Reward asset protocols here. Chainlink, Stellar, Avalanche, Hedera, Ondu, so on and so forth. And then a one that I have spoke about on this channel briefly, repeatedly, is Szabo ZBCM. Again, being a reward asset, 419 mil market cap, very, very small. Again, high risk, high reward, do your own research. But Szabo have got something they're cooking. They have some good partnerships. They're, again, as I showed in the post here, they recently decided to work alongside AllUnity, which is a Deutsche Bank backed institution, which is a very, very big deal. And they even now have launched a new car with WN chain. So again, whether you believe in Szabo or not is up to you. I'm not telling you to buy it. I'm not a financial advisor. Do your own research. But when I'm looking at my other documentations, which tell me the stage of the market, the fact we're going to see a $72 trillion wealth transfer, and we're going to be seeing certain assets doing really, really well, and so on and so forth. And then I'm seeing market makers saying DeFi and reward assets are looking to lead the next leg of the bull run. I'm like, okay, that's what I'm going to be looking at right now. So if you want to find out more key insights, premium insights regarding just information and much, much more, again, you can check out the VIP for a 7-day free trial. And equally, you can get a lot more insights as well. And as a limited time offer right now, there is actually a 40% discount if you type in CF40. If you type in CF40, I put it in the chat twice now, you can redeem the code. It's only up for 48 hours, so it expires on the 10th of October at 9 p.m. BST. So you've got 2 days to redeem it. But if you do, you can get 40% off 40% off the VIP, and you get many insights like documentation like this, alongside trade alerts, alongside educational courses, and a lot more we're providing in there. Thanks to BYDFI, we've got a lot of trades going on there as well. So if you want to find out more stuff, again, check it out. Links down below in the description, 7-day free trial, or again, as well as a 4% discount. You should type in the promo code CF20. And yes, Crypto20, I know, I apologize. I know you don't like it, but I got it out. Really bullish on Kaspa, as you should be, Joe. As you should be. Kaspa still is, no doubt, the strongest fundamentally sound asset in this space. Leading market maker, never heard of them in my life. Well, I have. I do know them. Let's hope for the bull run to come for altcoins to bring Kaspa up within a few months. Never had a bull run before, so I cannot imagine what is going to happen with Kaspa going into its first bull run. Bull runs are very, very emotionally high moments in time, because things are pumping. You're like, oh my gosh, I'm making so much money right now. And you're like, but when do I take out? Make sure you have your strategies aligned so you know what you're doing. For me, I take profits on the way up, leave a moon bag just in case. And I'm prepared for any potential pullback. Again, the cycles will go really, really quickly. And when you see everyone being so incredibly bullish on crypto, that's when you want to start being careful and start looking to get out. When you feel it's at all-time highs, that's when you want to get out, because people are therefore like, oh, it's going to keep going up forever. It's going to come back down eventually. But yes, Kaspa, it being its first Kaspa bull cycle, it did very, very well in the bear, of course. Kaspa's got a lot of big announcements coming out later this year and equally going in 2026. So I think Kaspa, again, still got a lot of time ahead of itself, a lot more to pump. And its first cycle, I think, it'll do very, very well. Again, time will tell, though. Looks like on the Kaspa anniversary will start. I mean, maybe we do see a big move around Kaspa anniversary, maybe. Wouldn't be surprising. Again, we're just got to wait and see what catalysts come out right now. We're only 8 days into October, into Q4. So far, we're looking very, very good into Q4. Currently up about what, 10% in Bitcoin in that time frame? 10% or so. Kaspa hasn't really moved as per. It's been just chopping sideways the whole time, but everything's been doing a similar thing. I mean, even Sui. I mean, actually, Sui has gone up, tell a lie. Sui's gone up a little bit. XRP has gone up a tiny bit as well. Tau has had a nice little run. So again, it's just Kaspa as the anomaly once more, but doesn't mean it's not going to do anything. I still think that Kaspa's going to do very, very well. So Beck's done quite good actually. In that time frame from the first, it's up. What, about 15-20%? Yeah. Again, doesn't mean that Kaspa's not going to do anything this cycle. Not at all for me. I think it's going to do very, very well. But that's also, again, why the research I do in my VIPs, and I tell my VIPs about, I also have diversified, because much I believe in Kaspa, and I do believe in Kaspa, and I think it's going to be fantastic. I'm still, as a precautionary measure, looking at other assets to still make some gains. And the gains I make from Szabo and from my other holdings, I'll end up putting back into Kaspa because it's still my biggest conviction. But again, we can see from market makers that say reward assets are going to be the ones that lead the cycle. So for me, Szabo is a high risk, high reward play. That is a reward asset that will probably do very, very well this quarter. And again, if you want to find out more, go on to check the link down below in the description, go on to my VIP, or you go to my Discord server, my free server, and click the links in there. You type in CF40, you can get a 40% discount for your first month, and as well as a 7-day free trial as well to the Coin Factory executive. So you've got 2 days till that promo code runs out, so be very quick. And when they move to Kaspa, I'm sure Szabo will move to Kaspa in the future if they want to survive the long term. I believe it makes sense for them to move to Kaspa, so I'll let you know. Don't worry, Crypto. I got you, bro. I got you. I think the alt season will begin as soon as I see ETH above 5k. Not a bad shout. I mean, not at all. Because I mean, ETH 5k is nearing its all-time highs. Well, actually, it's surpassed all-time highs right now, till I lie. But yeah, 5k will definitely be a lot of a psychological number for us to break. So if you surpass 5k ETH, I think you'll see a lot more momentum. Ultimately, it just depends on when Bitcoin dominance breaks off and falls below, though. Once it falls off properly, then you see alt start to go crazy. Because again, remember, with Solana last cycle, Solana didn't start rallying until here. So we saw Bitcoin dominance come down to 40%, go back up to 48, 3 months later, and then Solana started running here, in this pullback here. That's when Solana started running. So when you get Bitcoin dominance coming all the way down, if capital doesn't move straight away or anything doesn't move straight away, don't be disheartened. Don't be emotional. Be logical. We saw what happened before in the last cycle. It was where they shake you out. We mooned what was happening when many central exchanges for food capital deposits. Yeah, so basically, Wing Hong, it was this. Because of Kaspa's stress test that resulted in 158 million transactions, which is insane. Kaspa didn't break, but the old infrastructure that used by Kaspa's ecosystem participants couldn't keep up. So all the exchanges, all of the layer 2s, all the crypto wallets, they couldn't keep up with Kaspa's sufficiently high speed. So to reconcile the transactions, they had to hit pause. It was not an issue of Kaspa, everything else was the issue. So they've got to learn how to upgrade their system so they can keep up with Kaspa. And if Kaspa keeps going up faster and faster and more, like, becomes better and better, they're going to have to find a way to keep up. Otherwise, Kaspa's going to outdo them completely, which is a worry for them. So they're going to have to keep close eyes on that. And yeah, Tony, as you mentioned, help me out. You've got the affiliate link to BYDFI and no KYC VPN regulated exchange, which you can check the links out and all the deals and stuff in my free Discord server, which you can join for free. Also down in the description and on my homepage as well. Actually, with BYDFI, if you sign up through the affiliate link and follow the steps in the free Discord server, you can get a 1 month free trial. So you've got discounts galore right now. 7-day free trial to the VIP, alongside putting in CF40 for a 40% discount for the next 48 hours. When you've got 48 hours to redeem it, you'll get a 1 month, 40% off for the first month. And you also get a 1 month free trial through BYDFI as well. So you can get many, many discounts. So again, you can learn a lot more, especially in the fourth quarter when everything's going to be so parabolic. The premium insights we're trying to provide in there, we're trying to let the knowledge speak for itself effectively. We think the knowledge we provide in there is very insightful, and we have learned a lot more in there, improved our trading game, our wealth as well. So if you want to find out more, again, the discount's still ongoing for the next 48 hours. Check that out. Again, links are down below in the description. Just click the links to the CF. And yeah, the free Discord server as well. All that stuff there available down below. Greetings, Don Carlos. Bro, you're doing very, very well, brother. Welcome back to you, my man. That being said, let's get into more of the content real quickly. So we move on. We can see here, we got our next source here. Just in, SEC Chair Paul Atkins reveals plans to launch rulemaking for an innovation exemption by late 2025, early 2026. This boosts digital assets and crypto development in the United States. This is also quite an interesting timeline for this to be coming out late this year, early 2026. Again, if the cycle does extend, it makes sense. If not, they're releasing key frameworks and developments as the cycle's going to start correcting. That might cause a little labored, lackluster pump, if you will. A little like final gas in the tank type of pump again. But again, more regulatory developments are taking place near the end of the year, which in itself is a very, very big deal. And we're seeing other big developments as well. And Ethereum made a paper here talking about how crypto voters backed in play for 2026. So this document basically just goes to talk about the fact that politics and crypto go hand in hand again, and loads of them are still actually in favor of Trump because of the advancements he's made in crypto. So crypto investors who are, of course, quite happy with the cycle all in all, for the most part, because Bitcoin's nearing all-time highs, all markets at all-time highs, they're actually more in support of Trump right now. 64% consider that candidate stance on crypto is very important. Where, for the most part, even though everyone right now is shifting more towards pro-crypto, people still perceive Democrats as very standoffish. So that's why they're still very much in favor of Trump as well. Most also approve of Trump's performance and trust him at the GOP for more than Democrats to advance smart crypto policies in the United States. They strongly support Republicans' rollback of strict Biden-era rules and enforcement. And even Democratic and independent voters showing bipartisan backing for big ticket measures like market structure reforms and the strategic Bitcoin reserve. So again, I think that's also a thing to take into account with the mid-term elections coming through next year. Again, if the cycle does extend into then, that would be a very, very important catalyst, no doubt. And if not, and we see a correction at the end of this year, which some still believe is possible, and it is possible, you might see the typical 1 year correction. Again, as you look at the cycle, look at the last two cycles, Bitcoin after the bull cycle has a 1 year correction phase. It's all here, peaked in November, came all the way down to November down here, 1 year correction phase. Look at the last cycle. We've seen the last cycle as well. Peaked up here in December, 1 year correction down to December again. So it has a 1 year correction, but if the midterm elections come through and Trump wins that, just like you saw the elections when Trump first won down here, you might actually see only a 6-month correction phase as opposed to a 1 year correction phase. Just again, speculation, but it's possible with crypto being such an important aspect in finance now and also in politics as well. We're seeing accelerations regarding ETF applications as well, despite the shutdown ongoing right now, and Wall Street making very, very big moves. On Tuesday, ICE, the parent company of the New York Stock Exchange, announced a $2 billion strategic investment in blockchain-based prediction market, Polymark, which is very, very big. S&P Dow Jones Indices, the firm behind the SP 500, is launching the SP Digital Market 50, an index of 15 cryptocurrencies and 35 related crypto stocks. Again, very big news. BNY Mellon exploring tokenized deposits. Wealth management giant Morgan Stanley is now also telling their clients to expose 2 to 4% of their portfolios into crypto. So we are seeing continued adoption and exposure and recognition and just overall willingness to get into the space right now. And we are still not in this parabolic run just yet. We're seeing the momentum coming through finally, but we're not here just yet. But the signs are coming through that it's getting very, very close, as now, I played the video here, BlackRock are now heavily promoting Ethereum. First it was Bitcoin, now it's Ethereum. Soon it's going to be a lot more. Maybe it'll be Kaspa in the future as well. That'd be very interesting. But listen very closely here to this interview on CNBC.
Leads back to Ethereum.
So much.
Well, I think a lot of what you've been saying, the rise of stablecoins, the rise of tokenization, and more enthusiasm around blockchain technologies, that often leads back to Ethereum.
So much of the rally in the S&P 500 this year has been focused on technology, whether it's large cap, mid cap, but looking at other ways to play this tech rally, there's crypto, and Bitcoin has done exceptionally well this year, Christian, but there's also more focus these days on stablecoins, tokenization. There was even a report last week that the SEC was examining letting stocks trade on the blockchain. What's your thoughts on this?
Yeah, we think that's coming, and it's going to be very disruptive. It's going to create efficiencies in terms of cost and time for investors. So we think this is going to be a great thing and really bring capital markets into this next century. And we think blockchain is the way to do it. There's a variety of use cases around blockchain, whether that's stable coins for payments, the Genius Act happened this year, or it's tokenization of assets, which could happen with real estate or stocks. We think this is a major theme that's going to impact not only technology, but also fintech. And of course, the crypto community. We have our block ETF. We've been out since 2018, which is actively managed, buying blockchain and crypto equities. It's averaged 20% a year return since 2018. We're a pioneer in that space. We think the upside is going to continue, especially given the current administration and some of the regulatory moves we're seeing from exchanges as well as large market capital market players.
Yeah, this administration has been widely supportive of crypto. Jay, what are your thoughts on the best way to play this?
Well, I think a lot of what you've been saying, the rise of stablecoins, the rise of tokenization, and more enthusiasm around blockchain technologies, that often leads back to Ethereum. So there's a big difference between Ethereum and Bitcoin. Bitcoin is really this global monetary alternative, more similar in vein to the gold story. But Ethereum is really a bet on blockchain technology and other ways to use it through things like stablecoins and tokenization. So this enthusiasm has really trickled through to a lot of interest and flows into our ETH ETF, which is a spot Ethereum ETF, as people want to play this potentially very disruptive theme.
And the takeaway from that, family, is that Ethereum is the next stepping stone for institutions. Bitcoin, of course, is this store of value, digital gold. It's where they're going to flood towards. But when they want to actually utilize blockchain, which they do, they're testing, and they've done their testing, they're live already, actually. Right now, it's Ethereum being the biggest ecosystem for blockchain. But it won't be Ethereum for long because we know it's expensive, it's incumbent, it's not scalable enough. It's not going to work. They'll start diversifying out. Ethereum is their entry point into blockchain to get familiar with the space. And then if you are interoperable with Ethereum, like ZK EVM, Casplex, or the XRP Ledger EVM site, and whatever it may be, if you're compatible with Ethereum, you will see very seamless integration from institutions onto your project. That's why I think it was so important that Casplex and Igra and frankly anyone who's building on Kaspa, they're making sure they're compatible with Ethereum, because they know that Ethereum is the stepping stone for institutions to get involved into blockchain. And then when they've done their experience and their testing, they realize Ethereum is just terrible and expensive, they're going to find their researchers and tell them to find something better for us, something that's actually going to work for mainstream adoption, for global payments. They'll start experimenting. They'll probably go to well, right now the leader, as KRI suggests, is Ripple and XRP, and it is. But that could very easily be shifted to Kaspa, thanks to the KRI's work as well. Very easily shift to them, because Kaspa are able to handle significant high transaction. This is a quarter of what Visa do a day. So Kaspa could already handle a quarter of what Visa do. The issue we saw with Kaspa was not a representation of Kaspa at all. It was the other platform that couldn't keep up with Kaspa. So Kaspa already can handle a quarter of Visa. It's going to end up doing a lot more once you see 32 and 100 BPS and Dagnite. You know that Dr. Potter Heiberg looks at it. Nick Szabo is looking at Kaspa now. There are many other notable figureheads in this space who have looked into Kaspa. We've probably still got their eyes on Kaspa. Again, remember, Marathon, who have been mining Kaspa, they cannot do anything if their shareholders say so. So they've been given the permission from BlackRock, from Vanguard, from State Street to diversify out of Bitcoin mining only into Kaspa mining as well. These are little English little signs, but for me also proof of what is to come. It's just a matter of waiting. It's a waiting game. No one likes waiting. It's frustrating as anything, and the price has not helped that either. No way, shape or form. But we are seeing the migration happen from TradFi to DeFi or TradFi to blockchain. Now it's going into DeFi into Ethereum. That's going to further diversify and migrate into more effective chains for certain products. You might see people go to Tibet for payroll, maybe. You might see everybody come to Kaspa for its just decentralized nature, scalable nature, efficiency, low cost, high finality. It's all very, very possible. We are at the very, very beginning. Again, show you another institutional document because I'm feeling very generous today. You can see another document here which highlights, and I showed you this already before in truth be told, but again it's just highlighting this one from the Rothschild family. Again, Rothschild, one of the most notorious families in the world in regards to investment and whatnot. They highlighted here that over the next 2 decades, approximately $84 trillion in assets will change hands primarily from baby boomers and the silent generation to millennials and Gen Z. A significant portion, 72 trillion, of this wealth will be passed directly to the heirs, and the young generation are not merely inheriting the wealth, they are redefining it. Their focus is shifting towards sustainability, digital finance, private markets, and impact-driven investments. Studies indicate that nearly 80% of these heirs switch financial advisors upon receiving their inheritance, highlighting that not only the shift of capital, but in strategy and trust. So the takeaway from this here is we're going to see a $72 trillion wealth transfer with the heirs of these baby boomers and silent generation inheriting the wealth and getting it into crypto, into digital finance. That could very well be coming to Kaspa. We are so incredibly early. When you think 72 trillion is going to be coming to the space, we're currently at a 4.5 trillion market cap, or 4.2 trillion market cap right now in crypto. There's going to be 72 in the future to be in the next 2 decades. This is not a case to really be too panicking about, in my belief. Of course, you want to make money this cycle, and again, that's why I've been looking at other assets that have been doing very well, against the BEC being one of them. There's many other ones we do trading in our community as well, VIP, alongside DGen picks as well, for a little laugh and gamble, if you will. Making gains in a lot of that stuff. It's been very, very, profitable, in all honesty. I still believe Capital do very well this cycle. I'm just waiting for the time. I'm being patient and waiting for it, all honesty. But if you want to find out more, again, these sort of alpha insights, stuff like that, and equally documentation that suggests what the next pumps are going to be in the market, again, you can check out the VIP. I'm going to put it in the chat once again. If you type in CF14, the promo code, in the next 48 hours, you've got 2 days to do so. You can get the first month 40% off, alongside having a 7-day free trial. And if you sign up to BYDFI and follow the link to the Discord server, you get a 1-month free trial on top of that. So you could potentially have 5 weeks for free in the VIP, alongside 4% off the first month as well. So again, you basically can get a £30 VIP for 2 and a bit months if you act accordingly. So if you want to find out more, again, you're basically getting the whole of the 4th quarter free. If you want to find out more, check in, links down below in the description and on my homepage. Check them out before the time runs out. The stress test was done on the live net. Yes, the stress was done on the mainnet. Yeah, the stress test was done on the mainnet. Can't attackers do non-stop stress tests? I mean, in theory, yes, but no. I mean, attackers can keep attacking it, but this is just a stress test done to see how fast Capital can go, really. Transaction on that high. I mean, again, the transaction fee thing, these were just small, minute transactions. They were nothing. They weren't like, they were like 0.01% every single time. They were nothing. So wouldn't be much in the transaction fees either. The whole, like, I don't think the transaction fee are going to be that much of an issue, but I know that the devs are currently discussing and trying to find a switch or a fix or a solution to the RBF issue as well. Come on, let's be real. Has any of the token ever crashed the APIs of exchanges because they were too fast? No. That's also something to take into account. No other project has crashed exchanges because the APIs of exchanges and layer 2s and crypto wallets because they was too fast. Kaspa again is making history. Yeah, exactly. That's pretty much the reason why. Do you think Binance will be shorting Kaspa while keeping their spot positions? And if Binance takes a large market cap position, could they make Kaspa more centralized and less economically? It's a good question. I think there's a good possibility that Binance have been doing that since they launched futures up here. So they're just shorting it and buying the dips here, shorting it, buying the dips here. I think they've been doing that for quite some time, in all honesty. No confirmation as such, but it's good speculation, I like to believe. In regards to making Kaspa more centralized, well, let's just say Wallet 2 is the Binance. They own 3.55%. So in theory, they could make it more centralized, but there's still enough people who are holding supply to keep it up with its decentralized nature. You know, again, if someone accumulates too much, then it becomes centralized, definitely. But an exchange, I mean, no exchange has tried doing that. You know, this one holds 3.5%, which is quite a significant amount. But again, if Binance launches Kaspa, they're going to probably lose quite a lot of that quite quickly because people just buy it off Binance. People know of Kaspa. Not as much as we like to believe, but they do know of Kaspa. Welcome back, Ziebro. You did very, very well, brother. More miners that didn't did the more transactions we could process. Yeah, exactly. The more, yeah. If there are more miners, there are more transactions we could process. It's kind of a give and a take. But yeah, I mean, that being said, I found it does actually conclude today's Kaspa Crypto live stream. A little bit short today, but that is everything for today. Again, reward assets are going to be running very, very soon, hence why I made a video and talk about Szabo. Mr. Miles, you are very late. You are very, very late. But yes, as I mentioned in my video on Szabo earlier, and equally, as I made a post about it earlier, real world assets will be the ones to run this full quarter, more than likely, according to market makers, hence why I'm in Szabo. I still think Kaspa will do very, very well this fourth quarter as well. I think the time is coming. I think Mintomute and Binance have been manipulating Kaspa for a long, long time, and that will hopefully contribute to a listing very soon as well. Thinking about getting to Okta. Okta's not a bad shout. It has got a lackluster amount of listings, which is a problem, but if it doesn't miss the cycle, it could do very well. It's a very, very small asset as well, and it is seemingly trying to work with Kaspa. That could be a good benefit for Okta as well. But again, do your own research. But yeah, Kaspa's growing more and more developments coming through. Szabo also seems to be primed for a big run soon. We are seeing, you know, the sentiment regarding rate cuts staying very, very strong, and the fear of missing out from banks, the FOMO, the fear of missing out, is starting to get all-time highs for banks, hence why Bitcoin is near all-time highs and rallying continuously. More's coming through, and we're seeing Ethereum now sort of shift from Bitcoin to other assets is coming now from BlackRock, so Wall Street will follow very quickly in suit. Think there's long-term potential? Tough to say. I think that the model behind and the design behind Okta is good, but what happens if you have another project that tries to build that on another platform and it's good? It's hard to say. I think there's potential in it. I do think there's potential in it. I'm not personally investing into Okta. I might do later on, but I'm not. My shortcoming to Okta, while I do believe like Kaspa's great long-term potential and whatnot, I think listings are important, not be all and end all. I think Kaspa's got enough listings to be perfectly fine without Binance and whatnot, although I think it should get it either way. But Okta has even less than that. It has so many little listings. I think that's a problem for Okta in regards to adoption. Now, hopefully it can still do well. In regards to the design of Okta and what they're building, I think it's very, very good. So it could hopefully do very well. I know they're already doing some stuff with Kaspa in a sense as well, so that could help it out. It's tough to say right now. Again, fundamentally, really, really early. So it's tough to really determine, but we'll hopefully see more building coming through and that help them out as well. Mark's never late, nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to. God, who are you? Jesus Christ. I'll buy you an extra large done before our wedding. Okay, right. Well, I'll let you two lovebirds have it out. That being said, family, if you enjoy the content, leave a like, share with your friends, and subscribe for more. Check out the links down below in the description regarding the free Discord server or equally the VIP. Again, to type in CF40 into the promo code, you can get a 40% discount on your first purchase. So the first month for 40% off, alongside 7-day free trial, and equally a 1-month free trial. If you start to BYDFI and follow the steps in our Discord server, reach out to me on Discord when you've done that, and I'll help you get set up with that. But that being said, again, thank you all for watching once more. Have a great day, good evening, and good night, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care now.